Stop! If you have a green card and are leaving the US soon, do not book that flight yet. Because right now, green card holders are being denied re-entry at airports across America. Not for crimes, not for expired cards, but for a mistake almost nobody realizes they're making. One wrong step, and your American dream could be over, before you even get home. This is not a rumor. This is not fear-mongering. The Department of Homeland Security has confirmed they are denying re-entry to green card holders at record levels in 2026. And if you do not understand why this is happening and how to protect yourself, your next trip outside the US could be your last trip back in. Let me paint you a picture. You are at the airport. You just spent 3 months visiting family in your home country. You have your green card in your wallet. You have your passport. Everything looks fine. You walk up to the immigration officer. They scan your documents. Then they start asking questions. How long were you gone? Where do you work? Do you have a home in the US? Why were you abroad for so long? You answer honestly. But then the officer looks at their computer screen. They look back at you, and they say, "Please step aside." You are taken to a secondary inspection room. More questions, more documents requested. And then, after an hour of stress and confusion, they hand you a piece of paper. Your green card privileges have been determined to be abandoned. You are being denied entry to the United States. Your heart stops. You try to explain. You try to argue. But the decision is final. You are escorted to a flight back to where you came from. Your life in America, your job, your home, your plans, everything is suddenly gone. And the worst part? You had no idea this could even happen. This is the reality for hundreds of green card holders in 2026, and it could happen to you if you do not know the new enforcement rules. Because here is what DHS is not telling you in big, bold headlines. Having a valid green card does not guarantee you can come back into the United States. It never did. But now, they are enforcing this truth harder than ever before. So what exactly is going on? Let me explain this like we are sitting across from each other at a coffee shop, not reading some confusing government memo. When you get a green card, the United States gives you the right to live here permanently. That word, permanently, is the key. It does not mean you can live anywhere you want and just visit the US when you feel like it. It means the US is supposed to be your actual home, your primary residence, the place where your life is based. If immigration officers believe you have stopped living in the US and started living somewhere else, they can decide you have abandoned your permanent residence. And once they make that decision at the border, you are denied entry, right there, on the spot. No appeal, no second chance. Now, you might be thinking, but I was only gone for a few months. How is that abandonment? That is the tricky part. There is no magic number of days that keeps you safe. A lot of people think if you stay under 6 months, you are fine. That used to be a general guideline. But in 2026, DHS has made it clear. Time is just one factor. They are looking at the whole picture. They want to know if you truly live in the United States or if you are just keeping your green card as a backup option while you actually live somewhere else. Let me break down what they are actually checking. First, how long were you outside the US? If you were gone less than 6 months, you are usually okay, but not always. If you were gone 6 months to 1 year, you are in the danger zone. Expect serious questioning. If you were gone more than a year without a re-entry permit, you are almost guaranteed to be denied. But even short trips can raise red flags if you are taking them constantly. If you spend 3 months in the US, and then 6 months abroad, then 3 months in the US, and 6 months abroad, over and over, that shows you are not really living here. Second, why were you gone? This matters more than you think. If you were caring for a dying parent, that is understandable. If you were on vacation, that is fine. But if you were working a job in another country, that is a major red flag. If you were living abroad because rent is cheaper or life is more comfortable, that is a huge red flag. They want to see that your trip was temporary and you always intended to come back. Third, what ties do you have to the United States? This is huge. Do you have a job here? Do you own a home or rent an apartment? Do you have a spouse or kids living here? Do you have a bank account, a car, A driver's license? The more connections you have to the U.S., the safer you are. If you left the U.S. and you do not have a job here, you do not have a home here, you do not have family here, you are giving the officer every reason to believe you have moved away. Fourth, did you file your U.S. taxes? If you are a green card holder, you must file U.S. tax returns every year, even if you live abroad, even if you do not owe any taxes. If you did not file, that tells the officer you do not consider yourself a U.S. resident anymore. That is a giant red flag. And here is the part that shocks people. They are also looking at your social media. If you posted on Facebook or Instagram about how happy you are to be home in your country, how you never want to leave, how you are looking for work there, the officer can see that. And they will use it as evidence that you abandoned your U.S. residence. So what has actually changed in 2026? Listen carefully. The law itself has not changed. The rule about abandonment has been around for decades. What has changed is how strictly DHS is enforcing it. They have given Customs and Border Protection officers more training, more tools, and clearer instructions to deny entry to anyone who looks like they are not really living in the United States. They can access your full travel history instantly. They can see if you filed taxes. They can see your employment records. They have more information than ever before, and they are using it. Here is what is shocking immigration attorneys right now. In the past, officers would usually give people the benefit of the doubt. If you had a green card and a reasonable explanation, they would let you in and maybe give you a warning. Not anymore. In 2026, if there is any doubt about whether you are truly living in the U.S., they are denying you. They are taking your green card, and they are sending you back. The grace period is over. Now let me clear up some of the confusion that is all over social media right now, because people are spreading a lot of wrong information. Rumor number 1. If you stay out of the U.S. for more than 6 months, you automatically lose your green card. Not true. 6 months is not an automatic cutoff. You can be denied even if you were gone for less time, and you might be okay even if you were gone longer, depending on your situation. But yes, 6 months is when the questioning gets serious. Rumor number 2. If you get a re-entry permit, you can stay outside the U.S. for 2 years with no problem. A re-entry permit helps a lot. It shows you planned to return. But it is not a free pass. If the officer believes you actually moved abroad and do not intend to live in the U.S. anymore, they can still deny you, even with a re-entry permit. It is strong evidence in your favor, but it is not a guarantee. Rumor number 3. If you have a U.S. citizen spouse or kids, they cannot deny you. Wrong. Family ties help your case, but they do not protect you completely. If you have been living abroad with no job, no home, and no plans to return permanently, you are still at risk, even if your spouse is a U.S. citizen. Rumor number 4. Once you get your green card, you are safe forever. This is the most dangerous myth. Your green card is conditional on you actually living in the United States. If you stop living here, you can lose it, and you can lose it without any warning. So what should you do right now to protect yourself? First, if you are planning to leave the U.S. for more than a couple of months, apply for a re-entry permit before you go. You must apply while you are still in the United States. It costs around $260. It takes a few months to get approved, but it is worth it. It allows you to stay outside the U.S. for up to 2 years without being questioned about abandonment. It shows the officer you plan to come back. Second, keep strong ties to the United States. Do not cancel your apartment lease. Do not quit your job unless absolutely necessary. Keep your U.S. bank accounts open and active. Keep your U.S. phone number. Keep your driver's license valid. If you have kids, keep them enrolled in U.S. schools. The more proof you have that the U.S. is your real home, the safer you are. Third, file your U.S. tax returns every single year. Even if you do not owe money. Even if you are living abroad temporarily. Filing your taxes proves you still consider yourself a U.S. resident. Not filing is one of the biggest red flags. Fourth, keep detailed records of everything. Keep copies of your apartment lease, your utility bills, your pay stubs, your tax returns, your bank statements. If you are questioned at the border, you want to be able to show proof immediately that you live in the United States. Fifth, be very careful what you post on social media. I know it sounds silly, but officers do check. If you are posting about how much you love living abroad, how you found a great job in your home country, how you are never coming back, you are giving them evidence to deny you. Keep your posts neutral or positive about the U.S. Sixth, if you have already been outside the U.S. for a long time and you are worried about being denied, talk to an immigration attorney before you try to come back. They can review your situation, tell you how risky it is, and help you prepare the right documents. Do not just show up at the airport and hope for the best. And seventh, if you absolutely must stay outside the U.S. for a long time, come back every few months if possible. Make short trips to the U.S. Show that you are maintaining your presence here. Do not let months and months go by without setting foot in the country. Here is what I need you to understand. DHS is not playing games in 2026. They are serious about this. Officers have been told to be strict. They have been given the tools to catch people who are not really living in the U.S. And they are using those tools every single day. People are being denied. Families are being separated. Lives are being destroyed. And most of these people had no idea they were doing anything wrong. Let me give you a real example that happened recently. A green card holder left the U.S. to care for his sick mother in India. He planned to be gone for 4 months, but his mother's condition got worse, so he stayed for 7 months. He kept his apartment in New York. He kept paying his bills. He filed his taxes. He did everything right. But when he came back to the U.S., the officer asked him, "Why were you gone so long?" He explained about his mother. The officer asked, "Do you have proof you still work in the U.S.?" He had been on unpaid leave. The officer asked, "Do you have family in the U.S.?" He was single. The officer decided he had abandoned his residence. His green card was taken. He was sent back to India. 7 years of living in the U.S., gone in one conversation at the airport. This is not a rare case. This is happening all the time now. And the scariest part is that the burden of proof is on you. The officer does not have to prove you abandoned your residence. You have to prove you did not. And if you cannot prove it in that moment with the documents you have with you, you lose. So here is your action plan. Step 1. If you are leaving the U.S. for more than a few weeks, prepare proof of your U.S. ties before you go. Step 2. If you will be gone more than 6 months, get a re-entry permit. Step 3. File your U.S. taxes every year, no exceptions. Step 4. Keep your U.S. connections strong while you are away. Step 5. Document everything so you have proof if you are questioned. And Step 6. If you are worried about your situation, consult an immigration attorney before you travel. I am Joe from U.S. Visa Path, and I am here to make sure you do not lose everything you have worked for because of one mistake. If this video opened your eyes to what is really happening with green card re-entry in 2026, I need you to hit that subscribe button right now. Because every single week, I break down the immigration changes that could affect your life. No confusing legal language, no rumors, just the truth you need to protect your future. Do not let a simple mistake cost you your green card and your American dream. Stay informed, stay protected, and I will see you in the next video.